Imagine a nightly ritual you believe is the pinnacle of self care. A simple pill you pop to chase away insomnia and guarantee a restful night's sleep, only to discover that this very habit could be silently straining one of your most vital organs, potentially increasing your risk of a devastating condition by a staggering, almost unbelievable 90%. This isn't a plot from a medical thriller. This is the alarming reality emerging from recent, rigorous scientific research concerning one of the most popular over the counter supplements in the world, melatonin. For millions, melatonin is a harmless sleep aid, a natural hormone supplement that lulls them into slumber without the harsh side effects of prescription sleep medications. But a groundbreaking study, one that tracked thousands of patients over an extended period, has cast a long, dark shadow over this bedtime staple, revealing a potent and deeply concerning correlation between regular melatonin use and a dramatic 90% increase in the incidence of heart failure. This statistic is not just a number, it represents a seismic shift in our understanding of what we consider safe, forcing us to confront the possibility that the very supplement we trust to heal and restore our bodies could be, for some, a clandestine source of harm. The implications are profound, shaking the very foundation of the wellness industry and demanding an immediate and thorough reevaluation of our relationship with this seemingly benign hormone. This video is not meant to incite panic, but to empower you with knowledge that your doctor might not even be fully aware of yet. We will dissect the science behind this terrifying link, explore the biological mechanisms that could be causing this damage, identify who is most at risk, and, most importantly, provide you with a clear, actionable plan on what to do next to protect your heart without sacrificing your sleep. This is a public health alert delivered directly to you, and by the end of this investigation, you will be equipped with the information necessary to make an informed, potentially life-saving decision about your health. The human heart is a masterpiece of biological engineering, a relentless muscle that beats over 2.5 billion times in an average lifetime, pumping life-sustaining blood to every cell in your body. Heart failure, then, is not the sudden stopping of the heart, as is often misunderstood, but a chronic, debilitating condition where the heart muscle becomes too weak or too stiff to efficiently pump blood. The body, starved of the oxygen and nutrients it needs, begins to falter. Simple tasks like climbing stairs or carrying groceries become Herculean efforts, accompanied by breathlessness, profound fatigue, and swelling in the legs and ankles. It is a condition that progressively diminishes quality of life and carries a sobering mortality rate. Now, consider melatonin. Marketed as a natural solution, it's a hormone produced by your brain's pineal gland in response to darkness, signaling to your body that it's time to sleep. The supplemental form is synthetic but identical in structure, and its use has skyrocketed with adults and even children taking it routinely. The pivotal study that sounded the alarm bell was not a small observational report, but a large-scale, robust piece of research. It followed a cohort of tens of thousands of individuals, meticulously tracking their supplement use and their health outcomes for years. After adjusting for a multitude of factors like age, pre-existing heart conditions, lifestyle, and the use of other medications, the researchers arrived at a conclusion that sent shockwaves through the cardiology community. Regular users of melatonin supplements had a 90% higher risk of developing heart failure compared to non-users. This is a relative risk, meaning the risk nearly doubled. To put it in the starkest terms, if your baseline risk of heart failure was, for argument's sake, 1 in 100, regular melatonin use could push that risk to nearly 2 in 100. This is not a trivial increase, it is a monumental one, demanding our utmost attention and a deep dive into the why behind this dangerous connection. How could a sleep hormone possibly wreak such havoc on the cardiovascular system? The answers lie in the complex and often surprising roles that melatonin plays within the body, far beyond just regulating sleep. To understand how melatonin could be linked to heart failure, we must first abandon the simplistic view of it as merely a sleep hormone. While that is its primary fame, melatonin receptors are found throughout the body, including in the heart and blood vessels, where it exerts powerful effects on blood pressure, heart rate, and the strength of the heart's contractions. In its natural endogenous form, produced by your own body, melatonin is believed to have a protective antioxidant effect on the cardiovascular system, helping to combat inflammation and oxidative stress. The problem arises with supplementation, the external high dose synthetic version that you buy in a bottle. When you take a melatonin supplement, you are bypassing the body's delicate, finely tuned regulatory systems. You are flooding your bloodstream with a hormone dose that is often many times higher than what your pineal gland would ever produce naturally. This hormonal tsunami can have unintended consequences. One leading theory suggests that these pharmacological doses of melatonin can disrupt the delicate autonomic nervous system, which controls the involuntary functions of your body, including your heartbeat and blood vessel diameter. This system has two main branches, the sympathetic fight or flight and the parasympathetic rest and digest. High doses of melatonin may overly suppress the sympathetic nervous system while excessively stimulating the parasympathetic, leading to a state of profound cardiovascular depression. This can result in a slowed heart rate and a significant drop in blood pressure. While this might sound relaxing, for a susceptible individual, this can reduce the heart's pumping capacity over time, forcing it to work in an inefficient state, potentially leading to the remodeling of the heart muscle and the onset of failure. Furthermore, melatonin can interact with certain medications, particularly blood pressure, drugs, and anticoagulants, amplifying their effects in dangerous ways. Another critical point is the quality and dosage of over-the-counter melatonin, which is notoriously unregulated. Studies have found that the actual melatonin content in supplements can vary wildly from what is stated on the label, with some pills containing far more than advertised, turning a supposed low-dose supplement into a high-dose gamble every single night. This lack of consistency and regulation means you are never quite sure of the pharmacological impact you are having on your body, turning your nightly sleep aid into a potential game of Russian roulette with your heart health. So, who should be most concerned about this melatonin heart failure link? While the study indicated an increased risk across the board for regular users, certain groups of people are in a position of significantly higher vulnerability. The first and most obvious group are individuals with pre-existing cardiovascular conditions. If you have been diagnosed with hypertension, coronary artery disease, a history of heart attack, or especially any form of cardiomyopathy or early stage heart failure, the use of melatonin supplements could be akin to pouring gasoline on a smoldering fire. Your cardiovascular system is already under stress and operating with a compromised margin of error. Introducing a substance that can dramatically alter heart rate and blood pressure dynamics is an exceptionally risky proposition. The second high-risk group is the elderly. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at metabolizing and clearing drugs and supplements from our system. A dose of melatonin that might be processed relatively quickly by a 30-year-old could linger and exert effects for a much longer period in a 70-year-old, leading to a cumulative and more profound impact on the heart. Furthermore, age itself is a primary risk factor for heart failure. So adding a potential catalyst like melatonin on top of that inherent risk is a dangerous combination. The third group consists of individuals taking multiple medications. Polypharmacy, the use of several drugs simultaneously, is common, and melatonin is known to have potential interactions with a wide range of them, including blood thinners like warfarin, blood pressure medications, anticonvulsants, and even diabetes drugs. These interactions can either enhance melatonin's cardiovascular effects or reduce the efficacy of the other life-saving medications. If you fall into any of these categories, the message from this research is unequivocal. You must treat melatonin with extreme caution and consult your cardiologist or physician immediately before taking another dose. The risk is simply too great to ignore. Given this terrifying information, The most pressing question is, what do you do now? The first and most critical step is to have an open and honest conversation with your healthcare provider. Do not stop or start any supplement without professional guidance, especially one with such potent biological activity. Bring this research to their attention and discuss your individual risk factors. Your doctor can help you assess whether your current or proposed use of melatonin is worth the potential danger. The second step is to fundamentally shift your approach to sleep. Instead of relying on a pill, invest in perfecting your sleep hygiene. This is the foundation of sustainable, healthy sleep. Start by establishing a rigid sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm, thrives on consistency. Ensure your bedroom is an oasis for sleep. Pitch black, cool, and quiet. Ban all screens, phones, tablets, TVs for at least an hour before bedtime, as the blue light they emit is a potent suppressor of your body's own natural melatonin production. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. and heavy meals, alcohol, or vigorous exercise too close to bedtime. Develop a relaxing pre-sleep ritual, such as reading a physical book, taking a warm bath, or practicing gentle meditation or deep breathing exercises. These behavioral changes are more effective and far safer in the long run than any supplement. For those who feel they absolutely need supplemental help, explore safer, non-hormonal alternatives with your doctor. Options like magnesium glycinate, glycine, or L-theanine have calming properties that support sleep onset and quality without directly hijacking your hormonal pathways. Valerian root and chamomile tea are other traditional remedies that can be effective for mild insomnia. The goal is to support your body's innate ability to sleep, not to override it with a sledgehammer. Remember, the sleep that comes from a healthy lifestyle and good sleep hygiene is the most restorative and safest kind. Protecting your heart is paramount. And by making these changes, you are not just investing in better sleep, you are actively safeguarding your long-term cardiovascular health, ensuring that your heart continues to beat strong for all the nights and days to come.